Hello, everyone. Today, I want to share a story with you. This story is about time, it is about pressure, and it is about learning how to slow down when the entire world keeps shouting, "Hurry up." By the end of this story, you may understand how patience can quietly reshape a life. In a busy city filled with noise, glowing screens, and endless motion, lived a man named Argent. Argent was 32 years old. He was responsible, he was disciplined, he worked hard every day. But deep inside, he felt unsettled. Every morning, his alarm rang before he was ready. He rushed through his meals. He hurried to catch the bus. Even when he sat still, his mind refused to slow down. His office was small yet bright, packed with computers and silent expectations. A clock hung on the wall. Each tick sounded louder than the last. Each second felt like proof that time was outrunning him. Arjan watched the people around him. One colleague got promoted, another bought a house, someone else shared smiling photos from distant countries. Arjan congratulated them. He smiled, but later, when he was alone, his chest felt heavy. Comparison slipped into his life quietly, like an uninvited visitor. He compared incomes, he compared lifestyles, he compared life timelines. At night, lying awake in bed, one question returned again and again. Am I falling behind? One evening, after a long, draining day, Arjan couldn't bring himself to go straight home. The bus arrived, but he didn't step inside. Instead, he began to walk. City lights followed him at first, then slowly faded away. The noise softened. At the edge of the city stood an old park. Most people passed it without noticing. The gate was rusted. Paint peeled from the walls. Arjan pushed the gate open and stepped inside. The air smelled of damp soil and fallen leaves. Tall trees stood quietly, like silent watchers. Crickets filled the air with gentle sound. For the first time that day, Arjan slowed down. Near a small pond, something caught his attention. A turtle was crossing the path, moving painfully slow. Arjan stopped. He watched. The turtle lifted one foot, set it down, paused, then continued. "So slow," Arjun whispered. Nearby, a street dog lay stretched out, completely relaxed, eyes calm. It watched without impatience. Arjun sat on a wooden bench. His shoulders dropped. His breathing was fast, but the world around him wasn't. Inside his mind, thoughts collided. Others are ahead. "You should be further by now. Why didn't you start sooner?" The turtle reached the pond's edge and slowly slipped into the water. No fear, no rush, only trust. A strange ache filled Arjun's chest. At that moment, an elderly park caretaker passed by, a broom in his hand. His back was slightly bent. His steps were slow but steady. He glanced at Arjun and said softly, "Fast feet don't always go far." The caretaker gestured toward the pond. "That turtle has lived here for years," he said. "Many creatures come and leave, but the turtle remains." Arjun frowned. "Arjun! But it's slow." The caretaker smiled gently. "Yes, and still calm, still here." Then he walked away, sweeping fallen leaves behind him. Those words stayed with Arjun. That night, he lay in bed staring at the ceiling. His phone lay silent beside him. He thought about his pace, his fear, his constant rushing. For the first time, he asked himself a different question. What if I don't need to rush? The days that followed weren't magical. Nothing changed overnight. Arjun still felt pressure, still doubted himself, still made mistakes. But something inside him softened. He made a small decision. He stopped checking social media constantly. He focused on one task at a time. He began learning a new skill, slowly, without panic. Some days he felt exhausted. Some days unmotivated. Some days he wanted to quit. But he remembered the turtle. Slow didn't mean failure. Slow meant steady. Weeks passed, then months. Not his speed, but his reliability. Arjan was given new responsibility, not a giant leap, just one step forward. That evening, Arjan walked home beneath a quiet sky. For the first time in a long while, he smiled. Not because he had won, but because he trusted his path. One early morning, Arjan returned to the park. The sun rose slowly. Golden light touched the water. Birds sang softly. The turtle was there again, moving slowly. And every path opens when walked with patience. Arjun didn't become rich overnight. He didn't outpace everyone else, but he became calm. He became focused. He became quietly brave. He learned this truth: rushing damages the mind. Patience builds the life. Like a river, Life moves forward even when it flows slowly. So if you ever feel late, tired, or pressured by the world, remember this story. Remember the turtle. Remember the quiet park. Remember that slow steps still move forward. Don't rush your life. Grow at your own pace. Take a deep breath. And remember, every action has a reaction, and patience always finds its reward. Let life unfold, one peaceful step at a time.